North Carolina Motor Speedway felt like the inside of a blast furnace at the start of this latest Carolina 500. With the mercury at 97 degrees, the humidity was 96%, and the track temperature a sizzling 142 degrees. The pace car goes off, and suddenly all the power and fury in the Southland is unleashed as this 44-car field takes the green flag. Leroy Yarborough fires off the pole spot to take the lead away as they pour through the fourth turn with Davy Pearson second. After only one lap, Cale pits that big cyclone. He's got trouble with a shift linkage. 3 laps later, Paul Goldsmith turns that Dodge Super Bee loose and takes Pearson on the high side. He's 2 now, going for Leroy. Entering the first turn, Goldsmith is right on top of Yarborough's Ford. Petty decides he's on the wrong rubber and makes a quick stop for new tires on the right side. The Wood brothers have long had the reputation of one of the fastest pit crews in the business. Watch them now as they go to work on Cale Yarborough's car. He's in for rubber and fuel. They spend hours practicing this sort of thing, and they move with all the precision of a Swiss watch. He's down off the jacks, and they push him out in 32 seconds. Even at this early stage in the race, this high track temperature is starting to take its toll of tires. So far, all of the top cars have been in for tires except Goldsmith, and everybody is wondering how long he can hold this pace. Junior Johnson discusses the tire situation with Chief Crewman Herb Knapp. The track temperature has now gone up to 145 degrees, and this 1-mile high-banked super speedway is eating up tires at a fantastic rate. Look out! A spinner! George Davis in the 07 Chevelle blew his engine, spun in the oil, and hit hard against the wall. He also took Brickhouse in the Plymouth number 3 with him. With the yellow out, everybody dives into the pits. Pearson takes this opportunity to change the tires on the left side. They also add ice water to the tank that feeds his cool suit. On the restart, the battle rages on between Goldsmith, who now has the lead, and Leroy Yarborough. Paul is forcing Yarborough to pick up his pace, and Leroy's crew give him the sign to think. Uh-oh, watch it. As the mercury climbs, so do the engine temperatures, and Pearson just blew the belly out of that Ford. He gets the black flag from the starter, and the next time around, he'll be forced into the pits. The yellow flag is out while the sweepers go to work, and Petty screams into the pits. Richard's brother Maurice is in charge of the crew, and they work like they're on fire. Petty's 17-second stop here is one of the shortest of the day. Pearson's car is pushed unceremoniously back to the garage and retired from the Carolina 5. Green flag comes out. Goldsmith and Leroy are once again locked up in a wheel-to-wheel battle for the lead. 3 laps later, Paul finally pits that number 99 Super Bee. Those tires are worn down to where the cords are showing. 20 gallons of fuel is dumped in the rear end. Goldsmith complained about slack in the steering. They were going to check it, but he waved them off and fired out of the pits. The heat has turned this speedway into an asphalt inferno. While Goldsmith was in the pits, Petty went into the garage with a blown engine. Now, Cale Yarborough comes into the garage area and parks it with transmission troubles. Cale's face clearly reflects the fatigue and heat exhaustion these drivers are experiencing from this 500-mile run for the checkered flag. Yarborough has the lead, and he stands on it through every turn. On the other hand, Paul Goldsmith seems to be having trouble. And that's all she wrote for Dodge's #1 hope. The steering went out on Goldsmith's car, and he's forced to park it. This is a tough race for Goldsmith. It's his third straight race that Paul was sidelined with steering troubles. Now, another lead car will be out. Yarborough has been running much slower, and the pit crew give Leroy the sign that his clutch is gone. 2 laps before, Darrell Derringer went by and gave the signal for a relief driver. Now he's in the pits. He climbs out, and Richard Petty hops in. Darrell said the car was running fine, but the heat got to him. He was completely exhausted. Derringer, like many of the drivers, run with their windows closed, and the inside of his car was over 150 degrees. That, coupled with the strain of a race like this, takes its toll on even the toughest men, like Leroy Yarborough, who looks as though he'd like to head for a nice, cool shower. And here's another driver swap. Charlie Glatzbach wheels his Dodge Charger into the pits, and Paul Goldsmith, just 15 minutes out of the race, hops into the car. Paul, like Petty, just plain loves to race. Now, as they get closer to the checkered flag, Petty has the lead in Derringer's car number 22, but Donnie Allison in that Ford Torino number 27 is right on top of him. Petty and Allison have been staging a wheel-to-wheel battle on the track lap after lap. Now, with both cars in the pits, it's a duel between their crews. Watch these boys work. And Richard's crew wins it. They get him out almost 2 seconds quicker than Allison's crew. On the track, it looks like these 2 cars are glued together. Petty seems to outpunch him down the chute, but Allison makes it up through the turns. He has that Ford handling beautifully. Who's going to give? Both cars are flat out, belly down. Look out, he did it again. Petty blew the engine in his own car, now Derringer's. And I think he just scattered Darrell's parts over 18 counties. This is definitely not a day for the Hemis. After putting 2 cars back on their trailers, Petty asks, anybody else need a relief driver? And you can bet it won't be Donnie Allison. He has this one all wrapped up as he screams that Torino under the white flag. 1 more lap and he can go home. And here he is out of the 4th turn. He waves at the sun-scorched crowd and sails under the checkered flag, the winner of the Carolina 500. A battered car and a very weary driver head for victory lane. He was so tired they had to help him out of the car. But after a kiss from his wife and another one from the Queen, plus a check for almost $16,000, well, Donnie Allison felt much